I wanted to do a quick video because there's some crazy stuff that I've been learning about the sun and the moon and the earth and things like that. I believe that our pseudoscientists have taught all kinds of lies based on the assumptions that they make of evolution and things like that. But the Bible very clearly indicates that the earth was made on day one, and the sun, moon, and stars were made later. The Bible talks about movement to the sun, moon, and even to the stars. But the Bible seems to indicate that the earth, there's verses that say that the earth cannot be moved. The only verse that I'm aware of in the Bible that talks about any movement to the earth is, I believe, yet still future to come, that says the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. And I believe that if it's happening at all today, that would just be a result of earthquakes, possibly things like that. The earth might be kind of wobbling a little during an earthquake, but I don't believe the earth is moving at all. But the solar eclipse, I believe, is going to prove what the Bible says, that the earth doesn't move and that the sun and the moon are definitely moving. We know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But one of the crazy things is the eclipse in the United States is going to go from west to east, the opposite direction. One of the things that I didn't realize until recently is that the moon apparently orbits the earth from east to west as well. So they're both going the same direction around the earth. I thought the moon was going west to east, and that was why we were going to have an eclipse going from west to east. But the same can be true. It can go from west to east and have the sun and the moon both going around the earth, rising in the east and setting in the west. But what's going on is the moon is moving a little slower than the sun is, and that's why the sun is going to outpace the moon, and you can see a shadow beginning from the west side and going to the east side as the sun overtakes the moon in its course. One of the other crazy things, I believe the moon can't be bigger than 70 miles. And the reason for that is we've got a 70-mile wide path that is going clear across the United States for this solar eclipse. And that's basically, I believe, because you have to be where the direct shadow of the moon is going to pass so that you can have the sun totally blacked out in that 70-mile zone. If you're out of that zone, then the sun isn't going to totally black out by the moon. And one of the crazy things, if you think about shadows and start to really think about that, you can make a shadow get bigger than what you have. Like if you have your hand and you move it close to a light bulb, you could make a great big shadow of your hand. But no matter where you move your hand, you can't get the shadow to go smaller than your hand, because it's a shadow of your hand. And I believe that the same is true on the macro level. You can't get a shadow that goes smaller than what the moon is on the earth. So I believe that the shadow is demonstrating that our moon has to be 70 miles or less in diameter, even though our popular scientific nonsense would indicate it's supposed to be 2,000 miles in diameter. But and it's interesting because the Bible in Psalm 19 talks about the sun rejoices as a strong man to run a race. So the Bible very clearly indicates that the sun is moving, and it very clearly indicates that the earth isn't moving. But I just wanted to get some thoughts out there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone that you can. Thank you very much for your time.